another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a show made by 12s from around the world for 12s from around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host, and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, welcome everyone to another fabulous episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, episode 10-9, the 49ers edition of your show, as the Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on those San Francisco 49ers. So please grab a desired sit or beverage of your choice, put your tray tables up with your seats up in the full upright position, keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. And what can I tell you? If you ain't wearing the right uniform in Seattle, we ain't going to welcome you home. We have quite a show coming up here about the 49ers, and of course, we're going to talk about that Bronco game. But before we do, we'd like to introduce the posse. Over there with the dog, my dog, Abby, is my son, Little Mo. Hi, Little Mo. Welcome back.
Hello.
Had so much fun last week. You said, I got to come on this week, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. You had a good time last week, didn't you?
I did, yes.
You did. So, and that's Abby, my dog. My snuggle muffin. Hi, Abby. Yeah, she's like, okay, whatever. We've also got our stats man, Mark. Hi, Mark. Nice hairdo.
Do you like this, Dennis? I'm trying to hide my identity after last week's prediction, although I think it's because I faded my own team.
You did. That
we won the game.
Did I not give you that very thing that you're wearing on your head?
I'm a politician trying to take credit for when claiming the opposite just a week ago.
Always.
I'm hoping
that's how I wanted that to look. Exactly. Well done. Looking good, my man. I like the new hairstyle. And I also like the hairstyle of the other person, that that's our Shadow Hawk, Will. Hi, Will.
Force a habit. Sorry.
All right. That's all right. You got them all out Monday night. Believe me. How are you doing? How's April doing?
Oh, she's fine. She's sprawled out on the rug here.
Good.
My voice came back Wednesday morning, Tuesday evening. So
we're definitely going to talk about that. And of course, there's Dustin. Wait a minute.
Say what?
That's not Dustin. Who is that really?
It's Connor. It's his son.
Connor's son. Hi, Connor. Welcome to the show, man. How are you?
You good?
Good. And I hear you are about to embark on quite a career, my friend. Tell us a little more about what you're doing.
I'm going into the Air Force. I'm going to be a U.S. Airman.
Excellent.
A little scary at first, but I know it's going to get a lot easier.
Excellent. Do you know where you're headed at this point, or are they?
Yeah, I'm going to San Antonio, Texas.
San Antonio, Texas.
Oh.
Wow. Awesome. When do you head out there?
I've been there. Nice city.
I actually go out on Monday and Tuesday.
Excellent. Well, thank you in advance for your service, and we always thank your dad for his service and your mom as well. Very exciting time for you all, I know. Did you get to watch a game Monday night?
I did.
Yeah. What'd you think of the game? Tell us what you thought of the game before you.
So, if I'm honest,
yes,
I did not think they were going to win.
A lot of people.
However, I was pleasantly surprised that they did.
I think a lot of us were. A lot of us were very pleasantly surprised. We're going to talk about that pleasant surprise in the second quarter. But Connor, we want to thank you for embarking on this military career. Keeps everyone in this group and everyone watching safe, and we appreciate all that you do and all that your parents have done for us in the armed forces, and we wish you nothing short of the very best of luck, fly boy. So have a great time. It sounds like exciting to fly planes. Are you going to try to be a pilot, you think, or?
I'm not going to be a pilot now.
No, okay. That's still cool though, because you'll be around them, so that's kind of neat. So best wishes to you, Connor. Thanks for stopping by and seeing us. Thanks for coming on and waving to everybody. And we all wish you nothing short of the very best success, like your father has had and your mother's had in the armed forces. I know they've had a lot of success in it, and I know you will too. So thank you, sir, and keep watching the Hawks. All right.
Yeah, I will.
Awesome, man.
Bless you,
all
Will.
right, Connor Knight, everybody, going into the armed forces, and as he goes in the armed forces, we will look at how this show is going to go for this episode. All right, episode 1009 format. We do 4 quarters and a halftime, just like a real NFL football game. In the first quarter, Will catch us up on the news around the NFL that happened after week 1 Quarter 2, we're going to talk about last week's victory over those Denver Broncos, 17-16 on Monday Night Football. And of course, at halftime, it is the best Seahawk-themed trivia game on the internet. 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
Little Mo won last week. Little Mo back to defend his title.
Nah, that's going to happen again.
And a new twist on the 12-man Fan Jam Show. So, I know. Second, nobody knows this
Age
yet.
match.
Nobody knows. The second half, we're going to talk about that game between your Seahawks and the 49ers. Of course, we'll give you an injury report. We'll give you weather. We'll give you fashion. We'll give you Mark will give you some stats. Mark will give you some numbers. And I'll give you a sermon of Seahawks positivity as Reverend Moses. And then we'll put all that together, make our predictions, game balls, and prognostications for that game between your Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Before we do all that, we'd like to remind you to follow us on Facebook. We have a great game day thread every game day. We're on there talking about the game as we're watching. It's a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. We have a good time. Email us at 12-man Fan Jam Show. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you can. And as you know, Matt from Merry Old England is not with us this evening. Matt is still working with the passing of the Queen of England, and he is still working at his government position, getting all that worked out over this week and next week. So hopefully, he says he's hoping to come back next week. So hopefully we'll have a full house next week for our game, our Atlanta Falcons edition. But before we do that, we want to go into this edition, and the first quarter starts with news. Yes, 12-man Fan Jam Show news report with our news hound, Shadowhawk Will. Will, what you got for us?
Actually, Moses, I think Matt may still be in the queue to pay respects to the Queen. I don't know if
He might be. He's been waiting
anybody
all
who followed
day.
Matt on Facebook, he was taking pictures of. I think David Beckham had to wait 12 hours in line.
I think he was at 9 hours when he was taking pictures. So it's quite a wait. But I know that Matt will cherish that moment when he actually gets to pay his respects. So, but yeah, you're right. I'm sure he's still waiting in line. He may wait in line in the next week. Who knows, Will?
Well, speaking of waiting, Jets fans are waiting to actually have a decent team to cheer for.
We call that a segue.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And it didn't exactly happen last week. They lost 24-9 to the Ravens and really did not look very good doing it. But head coach Robert Saleh is tired of people making fun of the Jets. It's going to happen, he said, via Andy Vasquez of NJ.com. And we're all taking receipts on all the people who continually mock and say that we ain't going to do anything. I'm taking receipts and I'm going to be more than happy to share them with y'all.
Nice.
And on the Michael Kay show later on the day, he reiterated that he's taking receipts and said that he can't wait to, quote, shove it down everyone's throat when it comes around.
Mercy.
So just for reference, Saleh is 4-14 as Jets head coach. The Jets have been 63-115 since they last made the playoffs in 2010. So
Nice.
I think Saleh will have time to take plenty of receipts.
He's like that kid. Go ahead, Dustin.
No, I was going to say, like, the receipts he's taking, does he think can he return them for a better game? Is that what he's asking for?
I think they're like the CVS receipts that are 50 feet long.
Okay. All
No
right.
doubt. He's like that kid that gets in a fight that is like, the little scrawny kid. So he starts getting mouthy and stands behind a teacher, starts getting mouthy. The teacher turns around. He's like, oh, hold me back. Hold me back. You're lucky he's here. You're lucky he's here. That's exactly what he is. But yeah, until you win like more than 6 games
Yeah.
in the season.
I've been on both sides of that teacher.
Okay, raise your hand if you're completely unsurprised by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not. So yeah, that's a lot of talking, Mark, for a guy that's 4-14.
Cheers, Dennis. You can tell I'm doing my homework. I'm cramming like a test right now.
He's cramming like a test.
Conversation.
You nerd. Little Mo, have you ever had that problem at school?
Mark's over there looking like he put his finger in a light socket.
I turned into a racer head after last week.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if you were kid or play. I'm not sure what's happening there.
All right, now I'm ready.
All right. Well, too late now. We're moving on. Little Mo, do you think Saleh should be saying anything at 4-14?
No, I mean he's gonna go 0-17 this year, so It's not
There
going
it
to
is.
change anything.
0-17. We'll see. Good call.
He's a defensive coach that can't coach defense, and the defense sucks.
That's a problem.
No, yeah, that's kind of a theme for a lot of coaches where they're good at if they're a coordinator,
Yes,
but they cannot necessarily do the head coach thing.
absolutely.
And Saleh is a hell of a defense coordinator.
Yep.
But yeah, he's not proven to be a good head coach. So it's
You're right.
weird how that works, that dynamic.
It
Mike
is. You're right.
McDaniels.
Yeah, I'll be damned. Will, what else you got for us?
Well, Moses, I have a couple of streaks, one that is ongoing and one that is just broken.
Oh,
First off,
Just wash your drawers, man. Wash your drawers.
not those streaks.
The Bills did not punt in their win over the Rams last Thursday, meaning they have not punted in 3 of their last 4 regular season games.
Wow.
Which hasn't happened going back to at least 1939 and probably
That's
before
awesome.
that. They also didn't punt in their playoff win over New England. So if you include playoff games, they have not punted in 4 out of the last 6 games they have played.
Wow.
Since last December, there are only 6 NFL games in which a team didn't punt, and the Bills have 4 of those. On the other end of the spectrum, the Lions are hosting the Washington Commanders at Ford Field this weekend.
Commander
And
hosting.
they are favored by about 2 points, making this the first time they've been favored going into a game since November 22nd, 2020.
Oh my God.
So they were underdogs for 24 straight games.
Mercy.
What makes this particularly entertaining is that game, the last time they were favorited, they were 1-point favorites on the road against a Panther team who was quarterbacked by PJ Walker, and the Panthers beat the Lions 20-0.
No. Wow.
This gives you an idea of the kind of team the Lions have been over the last few years.
Mark, is that any kind of foreshadowing in your picks there? Or
Well, Detroit is they're kryptonite on a lot of levels, including trying to pick. So I'll stay away from their
I'm not
latest,
surprised. I'm
their-
not surprised.
their quest.
Dustin, I thought we weren't going to punt last week till the third quarter. I said, oh, that's right. We do have a punter. I totally forgot.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised about how efficient the offense was, but we'll
Very,
get
very
into that
efficient.
later. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was good to see the Aussie when we did.
Little Mo, your thoughts on either the Bills not punting or the Commanders not favored?
I mean, all that makes sense, the commander thing, but the Bills, that's kind of wild.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
4 out of 6. Best job in the NFL. Apparently the punter for the Bills. Who knew?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I had a second thought there, but no, we're good. We're good. We'll move on.
We'll move on. Will, thank you so much for the news.
Anytime, Moses.
All right, that's the end. We're moving on from the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
All right, coming up, we've got all kinds of fun. We're going to talk about the 49ers. Little Mo's going to be brave. That's a little surprise later. I'm not saying anything. And we've got all kinds of stuff going on. And the second half is trivia. But coming up next, oh yeah, there was a game last week, a Monday night game between the Seahawks and the Broncos. Some quarterback named Russell Wilson came in town. Wasn't treated very well. We'll talk about how that went right after this.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Yes, welcome back to the second quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show, the 49er edition, episode 1009. Coming up, we're going to talk about the 49ers in the second half and play halftime trivia. But the second quarter, we look back at last week's game on Monday Night Football against the Denver Broncos and a quarterback that we all knew that was Russell Russell, no, you're not. No, that's not your cue to join. No, get away, Russell, get away from the camp. Russell, you're not here anymore. Go. Sorry, guys. Anyway, Seahawks win 17-16 over the Broncos, an exciting Monday Night Football game. A very well played, a very loud game. Little Mo, what are your reflections on that game?
Well, I just want to talk about that one play Cody Barton made on that screen, the final
Fourth quarter.
drive. That if he didn't make that tackle, it would have been a big gain.
Yes.
And they would have not had to worry about that fourth down situation.
I think a minute and a half to go, and Barton said that he saw them he patted his legs. Is that what he did?
Patted his foot, yeah.
Patted his foot, and he knew that was a sign. And he shot through there and made an incredible play. They lost about 6 yards. That brought up a 3rd and 16, I think, which turned into a 4th and 5.
And that
which
whole
was when they had to make that decision to kick the ball or not. I think everyone was surprised they kicked the ball, or like, wait, you got Russell Wilson. Here's the thing. I knew when Russell walked off, he took his helmet off. I said, they're going to kick it, because he would not take his helmet off if he was going to go back out. And then he shook somebody's hand, and I went, oh, they're really going to kick the ball. So we can talk about that later, but that play by Cody Barton might have been a game saver, because the next play they get 10 yards.
Right.
And they probably got a lot of yards on that play if Cody doesn't do what he did.
Pete called it a KJ Wright type of play. So
yes, absolutely. KJ Wright type play. Dustin, what are your thoughts about that game?
Thoughts overall or thoughts about that play?
Oh, overall, or that play, whichever.
I enjoyed the fact that the offense in the first half anyways was efficient.
Yes.
They were doing things that we have not seen from a Seahawks offense in a long time. We're throwing the ball to the tight ends, which was awesome. We're throwing check downs, which was awesome. We're not trying to just bomb it downfield. And I feel like that game was a statement game as far as we're going to do things the Pete Carroll way. Mm-hmm. And the Pete Carroll way obviously works. Mm-hmm. So I think that game shows the difference between what Pete Carroll wants to do and what Russell Wilson wanted to do.
Yeah.
And how he changed our offense. And that's probably why we haven't been very good in the playoffs as of late.
Could be.
Just because of the efficiency of the offense. Yeah. The defense played pretty well. But they have a lot to work on. I'll say that.
They do.
Yeah. But overall, I feel like the Seahawks played a complete team game. And I think that's going to be like the theme of the season is they're going to do that. They're going to play as a team, a complete team. Offense is going to play up the defense. Defense is going to play up the offense. And I think that's what we're looking at this year. And I think that's going to help. I feel like that's going to lead us to more wins than people think it might.
Yeah, I do too. I want to bring up the 3 tight end thing, and then I'll pass it around a little bit. When Pete got the job, I was on a website. Dustin and I were on the same when Zorn was. That's where we met Zorn. The 3 of us met on that website. When Pete got the job, everyone immediately started
scouting.
Maddie
too.
Yeah, Maddie too. And everyone started scouting what can we expect out of Pete, offensively, defensively. And offensively, I remember, as clear as bell, I can remember he used 3 tight ends at USC all the time. And he would flank one out as a receiver, or he'd bring it in. But his 3 tight end sets were like a staple on his offense at USC. And I remember thinking, we never seen that in Seattle. Never. Until
Russell
last week.
Yeah, Russell never embraced the tight end thing. And it has to be a certain type of tight end, one that can block and one that can
be flanked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And, we have that now.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to the guys at work, and I was like, yeah, who would have ever thought, Seahawks offense, based on what we've seen for the past 10 years, Colby Parkinson and Will Disley score touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have put money on that?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
It was.
But it gives us a little insight to how things are going to work in the future.
Yeah. A well-oiled machine will offensively. Defensively, there were some, what I would call young mistakes that I think we're going to put up with all year.
Yeah, if I could add to that real quick, the defense, if they didn't give up that one big play to Jerry Jeudy, the passing, stats wouldn't have looked as good as they did for Russell.
Was it 340 for Russell, but without that, you're right. You're right. And that was a big play.
And it was a young mistake, but
and we've seen that from Russell Wilson for years now. If he's throwing 400 yards a game, that's because they're not going to win the game.
Well, you're right. That's very true.
That's been proven to be true. Yeah, that's just how it is now.
Yeah. Will, what were your thoughts on the game?
Well, Moses, I think about this game, and the one word that keeps coming to mind is catharsis. Especially over the last couple of years, but even before that, it seemed like every offseason there'd be some article talking about how things were going wrong in the Seahawks locker room or something. That one player was saying this, one player was doing that. Yep. They're shipping out all the malcontents. They're doing this. Oh, Russell Wilson's got another contract negotiation. Okay. And then last 2 years, especially from the moment where Wilson showed up to his press conference after that playoff loss to the Rams 2 hours late, unwashed, wearing a hoodie, and just obviously pissed off. From that moment, it's just been, "Ooh, are we trading Russ? Are we trading Russ? Russ wants to go. Russ doesn't want to go. All this."
Yeah.
Oh, and then we traded him. It's like, oh, well, he's doing all this in Denver. Everyone else, I think, was as sick of all this as I was. And, it's just, some people were saying, oh, don't boo Russ. And I didn't. I screamed my head off. I didn't boo, but I understand why people would. And I think, the atmosphere in this game, I was there, and it was probably top 5 games of all time. Just everybody in those stands just screaming and
it
yelling.
Felt that way, Will, on TV. I haven't heard that loud in years.
The Boo Russ thing is like, why would you cheer him? He's on the other team.
Exactly.
He's going to run. I had a lot of people ask me about that, and I downplayed it a lot. I was like, he's going to run out onto the field with the rest of the team. Every single time that happens, we boo the team.
Yeah.
Who cares if it's Russell Wilson?
What are we supposed to say? Oh, Russell, be quiet. He's on offense. He used to be with us. No.
Yeah. So, we're going to boo him at that point because he's a part of that team.
And the minute that game was over, a little Mo turned to me and said, now we can cheer for Russell. I said, absolutely. I'll cheer for him the rest of the year without question.
No, I won't.
That's
won't. Right. Not until he retires. He raises the flag. He's in the Ring of Honor, and he goes to the Hall of Fame. When that happens,
all those will happen.
Yeah, all those will happen. And in those times, I'll cheer for him. But right now, that's not the time to do that. No. He's not our guy anymore. He's Denver's guy.
So you boo him. And getting back to the crowd noise as a whole, though, I think that had a real effect on their coaching staff. They were saying that on some of those goal line plays, their offensive line couldn't get the calls, and that led. I think it was pretty obvious that led to the second fumble because the guy ran into the butt of his own lineman.
Yep.
It actually changed our game for the better on that Cody Barton play that Little Mo brought up. That was originally going to be a planned blitz, but Jordan Brooks couldn't hear the call coming in for the sideline, so he just made his own call.
Wow.
And if Barton had blitzed, he would have been out of position to get that. That screen pass. So, I think we had a lot to work out in that game, and it's appropriate that we came out of there with a win, I thought, but that was a lot of pent up frustration and all the stuff that we've had to put up with just to root for this team over the years. It's like, all right, we got it out of our system, and I'm feeling better. I can't speak for everybody, but
I'm cathartic. Stats and Mark, what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, you guys, you talked about the energy leaped off of my phone. I watched this game on my phone. I don't have any cable here, I always seem to be challenged in some way. And so no, I watched the whole thing on the phone. The energy leaped off the phone.
Yes.
And I thought it was a heck of a decision by Hackett to to go ahead and shelve your $49 million a year quarterback and send out
That's
a
what a lot of people
64. I
say.
still don't understand that
2
decision at
first
all.
round
But
picks.
it
all
doesn't
those
matter.
players.
They got the win, and I was very much surprised by just how the entire thing went, obviously, given my score a week ago. So they played off the charts.
Yeah, they really did. And something I said in the preseason, I thought this team missed that they had in going into that game. And maybe it's because they spent the week with Sherman. I don't know. But enthusiasm and they looked like they loved playing football. Now, all preseason, they looked nervous and cold and scared. But when they got, it was probably because it might have been because of the crowd. It might have been Monday night. It might have been the whole setting. But they looked like they were having fun and they played with emotion. And they made a lot of rookie mistakes, but they're going to.
It's a young team. That's why they enjoyed it. That's what it is.
I was going to talk about Tariq Woolen. I mean, he made some PIs, but that's going to happen with a rookie corner. Other than that, he didn't get beat.
He didn't look that bad at all.
He was
Just
in the
a couple PIs.
pocket.
Yeah, and one of them was pretty questionable too.
Yeah. But penalties are going to happen with him. He's a rookie corner.
That's going to happen. Absolutely. That's growing pains. Absolutely. I'll take those PIs with him now as a rookie because that's going to happen. But he looked very good. Michael Jackson was insane. That guy continues. Nwosu was number 10. We seem to be playing 4 or 5 number 10 jerseys out there. Nwosu was everywhere. People were just making plays left and right. It was a different person every time. Nwosu, I told Little Mo, Nwosu looked like the kind of guy that we paid money for in the offseason. And you say, that's why we paid that guy money. Because he earned his paycheck last Monday night, in my opinion, and then some. So really solid effort by the team. Looked really good, physical. The Maulers, let's give those young linemen, offensive linemen on both sides, Cross and Lucas, some props for dealing against 2 really excellent pass rushers. And until the end, now he did let some sacks at the end, but for 3 quarters they were non-factors, and that's amazing.
And both of those sacks can be avoided. And, Carroll and Smith have admitted this, that he needs better pocket presence and to step up in the pocket in those situations.
Exactly. So, what you're talking about, Smith. What an amazing game by Geno Smith. Came in and looked like he was in total control. He never looked flummoxed. He never looked confused. He looked in charge. He was an emotional leader. He was a mental leader. He stepped right in and looked like he had been running this team for 10 years. You can
see why he won the starting job.
There's no question. No question about it.
They wrote him off. He ain't right back, though.
And he did a great job, too. So all that being said, a great win by the Seahawks. Let's go to 2-minute warning, and let's see how we did on our Posse Prediction Challenge. Yes, 2-minute warning. We'll see how I did our Posse Prediction Challenge for that game last week. Of course, the score, look at that, Mike Pascal, 17-16. That was the score. Whatever. 5 points and a bonus point for having the best score. Who else got anything? As we look at the prognostications. Good day, sir. 2 sacks were credited for Seattle, so Mike got that also. Dustin, they were 6 for 11 on 3rd down conversions. They were 6 to 12. They would have been 50%. You said 50 or better, so you got yours. Game balls. I gave it to Nwosu. What a game. I gave it to Smith, even though I have a hard time giving a quarterback the game ball. But we talked about that. We're going to have 1 quarterback game ball this year. I gave it to Brooks. I thought Brooks had a wonderful game. Offensively, there just wasn't enough wow factor from any of those players to give them a game ball. So that means we look like this. Our over and under was under. Everyone on Team 12 except for Little Mo and Carrie were under. Will was the only person under for us. Week 1 scores look like this. Mike with 8 to start the year. We'll be chasing Mike for the next 10 weeks. Will at 2, Little Mo, Jose, Mark, Jimmy, Justin, and Andy all scored a point. As we go into week 2, our score is this. Team 12, Team Posse 4. We're already 8 in a hole. Already.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. So we have to make a prediction this week and try to get some ground back. So let's go ahead and go to halftime.
It's halftime, bitches!
Coming up, we have all kinds of information for that game between your Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. But before we do, it's the best Seahawk themed trivia game on the internet. 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
of the world. We'll be right back after this. Don't you go change it.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
Yes, thank you, me, and welcome to another wonderful, dazzling edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
Of the world.
The game that tests your knowledge of Seahawk things. Yeah, so the contestants are our posse, and we will be putting the questions up for you as well, so you can guess your own knowledge and tell us how well you did and tell us how much better you did than everybody else. Here's how the game goes. Besides the fact that I had a brain fart for some reason, we'll have each of you guys answer 2 questions, 1 question for each round, each question worth a point. At the end, we will have a special overtime or special final question worth 2 points. If there's a tie, the people tie will go into a top secret overtime question and be crowned 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion
Of the world.
of the world and of this episode. Now, here's the difference. You used to ask Little Mo and Mosette. Well, Little Mo's now part of the show. So what I decided to do is if you ask me, I will take a wrong answer off and give you 50-50 on 1 question per 2 rounds. So I will give you an incorrect answer, and then you can pick 50-50 for 1 question out of the first 2 rounds, okay?
Then can I ask Little Mo after that?
No, well, you could ask him, but Mo, don't tell him. All right. Your topic is, of course, the 49ers. Little Mo, 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Let's go with 2.
All right. Dustin, 1, 3, 4?
1.
Will, 3, 4?
I will take Seahawk thing number 3.
Boo.
Oh, not yet.
Wilson, get it? Okay, never mind.
Wait a minute. Yeah. And then Mark, which one do you want? Hey, no.
Say.
Sorry.
Good Wilson.
Will you or Dust or Mike? Matt is Mike is always taking 4. Wow, so that's been Mark, not Mike. What the hell's wrong with me? Apparently, there's something in my Sprite.
There's a
I don't
lot.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, tell me.
You know,
All right, Dustin.
we don't hit during preseason anymore. You know, it takes a while to work things out.
Takes a while to work things out. I don't know where my head is right now. Dustin, can you hear me?
No.
Okay. The first time the Seahawks beat the 49ers in San Francisco was back in 1979. Remember that, Dustin?
Yeah, absolutely. I was -2.
Of course you do. How many rushing touchdowns did the Seahawks have in that game? 2, 3, or 4? Dance!
Who would have been the running back? Maybe Chris Warren. I'll say 3.
You'll say 3.
Yeah.
All right. Since I don't have to say who says what because we don't have that anymore. Correct answer. It's 4. I'm sorry, Dustin. I'll do my own sound effects tonight. Dustin, I'm sorry. You did not get that question right.
I'm sorry you're doing your own sound effects too. Yeah.
That's all right. Little Mo.
Yes.
When the Seahawks beat the 49ers in San Francisco in 2003, you remember that? You were 2.
I
No, you weren't.
was
You were
negative.
-2. You were -2. How many touchdown passes did Matt Hasselbeck throw in that game? 2, 3, or 4?
Well, obviously 3.
Obviously 3.
Obviously. Yeah.
2. 2. It goes quicker when I do my own sound effects. Nobody's got it right yet. Will, you ready?
Hit me.
In the face.
When the Seahawks beat the 49ers in San Francisco in 2004, do you remember that, Will?
Vaguely.
Of course you do. How many touchdown passes did Masselbeck throw in that game?
Pat Masselbeck?
Matt Hasselbeck. Pat Hasselbeck. It's like J-Lo.
Didn't work last time. I'll try it this time. I'll go 3.
3. He says 3. Ding, 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 ding. Will's on the board.
What a dick.
I know.
Be original.
Statsman Mark.
Why? It worked.
No relation to Mike. Hey, Statsman Mark. And how many NFC West championships, how many NFC West championship banners do the San Francisco 49ers have? In other words, how many times have they won their division, the NFC West, over the years? 20, 21, or 22? And this goes way back, you know. They've been in the NFC West forever.
Yep.
Ever.
Holy cow. This, I'll stick with the middle and go 21.
Stick with the middle, 21. 20 times. So.
Duh.
Will has a point. No one else does. Will, 5, 6, 7, or 8, sir?
6.
Will's going with 6. Little Mo, 5, 7, 8.
7.
That's been Mark, 5 or 8.
5.
Dustin, 8 or 8.
I'm gonna go 8.
All right.
Good answer.
Good
I
answer.
think
Here we
you should
go.
8. You should have gone with 8 instead.
As you notice,
Yeah,
all three
I
questions,
should have.
3 of the 4 questions are about football games, and one of them is kind of a little obscure question. Mark, you went 2 for 2. You got the obscure question for this round as well. It's about Joe Montana. You know they named a city in Montana, Joe. Did you know that?
They
did.
In the state.
In the state of Montana, you can live in Joe Montana. That's what she said. All right.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. But Joe Montana was actually born and raised within 25 miles of what major city? Buffalo, Philadelphia, or Pittsburgh? Where did Joe Montana born and raised? 25 miles of Buffalo, Philadelphia, or Pittsburgh?
Well, let's see. I think, you know what? It's amazing. I'm going way out on a limb by saying in advance I might know this. And I'm going to say Pittsburgh.
You might know this. Why would you know this?
Well, I'm old enough to remember his career.
Because he's old.
Because he's old. Hey, Mark. Ding, ding, ding. You know this. Woo! Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
That one's for you, Maddie.
That one's for you, Maddie. All right, Will. The Seahawks played the 49ers in San Francisco in 2005. How many times did the Seahawks sack quarterback Ken Dorsey? 2, 3, or 4? Ken Dorsey. Of course he.
All right, Moses, take one off the board.
I'm taking 2 off the board. It's either 3 or 4.
Well, why not? Let's go 4.
Why not go 4? Why not? I'll tell you why not. Ding, 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 because it's right. That's why. Ken Dorsey sacked 4 times. Of course he.
Well, it's Ken Dorsey. Of course we sacked him.
Of course we sacked Dorsey. Little Mo.
Yes.
You were 2 years old when the Seahawks played the 49ers in 2007 in San Francisco.
Okay.
Seahawks won.
Mm-hmm.
How many turnovers did the 49ers have in that game? 2, 3, or 4?
Can you take one away from me, please?
Yeah, I'm going to take 2 off. It's either 3 or 4.
Let's go 3.
Let's go 3. Ding, 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 ding.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at this. You get
Abby,
a point.
Abby told me
You
it was
get a
2.
point. You get a point.
Abby
All right,
answered that
Justin, keep it going here.
Okay.
Dustin, when the Seahawks played the 49ers in San Francisco back in 2008, who was the leading rusher for the Seahawks? Julius Jones, Maurice Morris, or Leonard Weaver? Who led the team in rushing that game? Woo! They all had rushing yards in that game. Wait till you see how many incredible rushing yards these guys had for this game.
I want to
Man,
say
two
Maurice.
rusher.
I want to say Maurice Morris.
So you're going to say Maurice Morris?
Yeah.
Okay, he wants to say it. So he's going to say it.
Yep.
And he's right, but look at that. He led the team with 16 rushing yards. Leonard Weaver had 13. Julius had 9. So we got a point for Dustin. We got a point for Little Mole. We got a point for Mark. We got 2 for Will.
Little
But don't
Mo.
worry, because now it's time for the final question. Now it's time for a final question. Yeah. All right.
Trademark.
Final question. Your 2 points. It is a number. It is time. It is a time. So I need minutes and seconds on this. All right.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Even worse than decimals, Dustin.
I know.
Yeah, fuck this game.
Oh,
Yikes.
Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
The order will go Mark, getting feisty. Mark, Dustin, Little Mo, and Will. It's a time. I need a time. And the time is this. In the NFC Championship game between the Seahawks and the 49ers, what was the Seahawks' time of possession in that game? Time of possession. And we start with Mark. Mark, time of possession for the Seahawks in that game.
Oh, wow. I'll go 32-25. 32:25.
32-25. All right. And then next up we have Dustin. Time of possession.
You suck.
Okay.
Yep. I'll go, I guess, a minute over what Mark said, because
33-25.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
I'm not a
Little Mo.
I'm gonna go 27-53.
Woo. All right. That's Will. Here's what we got: 27-53, 33-25, or 32-25.
29 minutes, 31 seconds.
I don't like bald people.
They're horrible.
Doesn't like bald people, Will.
No reason to live.
So we had 27-53, we had 29-31, we had 32-25, and 33-25. Those are all really, really close. But the winner for the time possession is 31-28. Will, you are the champion of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia for this week. Congratulations, Will Harrison.
Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate all you do, and thanks for a really exciting game. Everyone was pretty close there at the end. By the way, the overtime question would have been, how many penalty yards did the 49ers have in that game? And the answer was 65. So if you're wondering about that, but we're not going to worry about that now. We're going to celebrate Will Harrison winning the episode 1009 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of the world.
It has been a nail-biting, stomach-turning, head-hurting, knee-splitting edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia. And coming up, we'll talk about those 49ers in the second half. Congratulations, Will.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
If there's a better use for the internet, I haven't found it.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter!
Yes, welcome to the third quarter of episode 1009 of your 49er edition of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. In this third quarter, we talk about the upcoming game between your Seahawks and the 49ers. Where's Little Mo? Little Mo, are you there? Oh my! Ah! What the hell's that?
How's it going, guys? You guys said dress up for the 49ers game, right?
No. Don't dress up for the 49ers game. We're going to talk about the 49ers game. Dude, get that off. That's disgusting.
Okay.
Go change yourself, man. Oh, my God. Now I got to disinfect the entire house. All right. Well, while Lomo's getting changed, we remind you that the Seahawks are playing the 49ers on Sunday at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1:05 on the West Coast. And in England, it's probably 1984 or something like that. Who knows? Who cares? We are going to start with the first part of our show on the third quarter, and that is we go through Dr. Dustin's Fan Jam Show injury report. Dr. Dustin is not with us right now.
He's on rounds.
He's doing his rounds, so we do want to share the fact that the biggest injury that we know of. Oh, thank God. Do you feel better?
I do.
Oh, man, woo.
My dog was even concerned.
Oh, our dog, yeah, she's very concerned. You can give that to her. She can tear it up if she wants. The biggest injury on the injury report I think we need to talk about is Jamal Adams, who obviously was injured in that game. Looks like it's going to be major. Came to the practice. Little Mo, what'd you say about Adams today? He came to the practice
in a wheelchair.
Had
to talk to basically the whole team. It was really emotional, they said.
Yeah. Doesn't sound good.
He's getting surgery, I think they said, here soon. So
yeah, which, I mean, the thing is with that, this is a guy that is getting injured a lot. So we have to start thinking about that.
I think it's because he plays so hard.
I agree.
Kind of like the Chris Carlson thing. Well, Chris Carlson got hurt because he played so hard. I think it's the same thing with Adams.
I won't disagree there.
Well, and this one, it was just such a fluke. I mean, he almost got Wilson for a sack and just sort of swung his leg around a little bit. I didn't notice anything at the time until they put up the injury notification on the stadium board.
Me either. Very sad. And then, of course, George Kittle right now is dealing with an injury, Little Mo. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And he's day to day.
Well, he's a game time decision. He did practice today, but he did not practice the 2 days before that. So
George Kittle, I think it's fair to say for Little Mo and I, if we could get a 49er jersey, and we sure don't want one, but George Kittle would be the guy that we would want.
Kittle.
Yeah,
I love George Kittle.
He is a funny guy. This 49er team is not that
he
Jim
needs
Harbaugh.
to rest his groin. He needs to rest his groin this week.
He needs to rest his groin this week.
Permanent injury, so he'll be okay.
Totally agree. My favorite George Kittle soundbite was the first game on COVID when there's nobody in the fans that are playing the Cardinals. And after the first play, he looked at the Cardinals. He goes, "Is this weird for you guys? This is weird. Isn't this weird? This is really weird." Like he was like a little kid out there. It's so funny. But George Kittle we do like, but he is day to day. So we have a chance of not seeing him, which would really help us a little bit there. So that's our injury report. And now usually we go to Matt from Merry Old England with a fashion and weather report. But since he's not here, I will do that as well. The weather report looks fantastic. Will, I know you're out there, but it looks like sunny and 70 on Sunday. Perfect football weather, right, Will?
Well, it's not going to be here, so.
Oh, that's right. It's in San Francisco. I apologize. Seattle, if you're going to see the game, go outside. It's sunny and 70. San Francisco will have temperatures between 0 and 80. Zorni, how's the weather in California?
It's as expensive as ever, Dennis. It's like everything else. It just keeps going up in price. It's going to be fine. It's one of the few areas where there isn't a forest fire. That's great. That's good to hear. And as far as fashion, of course, I am not one to talk about fashion. But if you go to the game with looking like this, and you're a 49er fan, that might be a good look for the 49ers in this game. We'll see. So that is your fashion, your weather, and your abbreviated injury report. And now it's time to talk about Seahawk positivity. Oh, no, it's not. It's time for Statsman Mark. Statsman Mark at Bricks Picks. I'm sorry. Statsman Mark will give us 3 picks from the NFL. Statsman Mark, I'm so used to you not being on the show that I did not include you, but there's Bricks Picks staring at us. Bricks Picks were 2-1 last week. You got the over under and you got one of your games. So you got 2 out of 3 last week. What do you got for us this week, Mark? Well, it's amazing how well I do with picks, Dennis, when there's nothing at stake. The minute I lay just $1, it just blows up in my damn. Okay. Well, so let's see. I looked at 3 games. And I got to tell you that what sticks out, when you look at point spreads, is a team that's favored that shouldn't be, and that's the New York Giants, even though they did win last week. I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield and the Panthers to beat the Giants in New York for my underdog pick.
Nice.
So
what's the point spread there?
The Giants are favored by 2.5. I'm sorry.
All right.
So I'm taking Carolina plus 2.5.
Carolina plus 2.5. Good.
That's my underdog. For
That's
my favorite, we're going back to Baker's old team. I tell you, one of the things I can't resist, even though I'm not great at this, is to kick a team when they're down, and that would be the New York Jets. We're going with Jacoby Brissett and the Cleveland Browns at a -6, so it's eating a lot of chalk. Chalk is whiter than this beard, and we're going to go with the favorite. And then for the final, for the over/under, we're going back to a team we beat, and we're going to go with Russell and the Broncos. Hosting the Houston Texans, and I'm going to take the over 45.
Oh, over 45 points.
I think there'll be some score. I think there'll be some points.
Some points scored in that game. All right. So once again, to recap,
they're going to ride high on the over total in Denver. So there
nice. I was just going to say he can't resist the Browns for a massage, but
for a cam girl massage on that one, are you, Mark?
Well, does Sean offer coupons? I can't afford any of this stuff.
Deshaun, we'll have to get Deshaun on air and find out for
Actually,
you.
I'm going to get flamed for a Deshaun comment. I better. Are we recording, Dennis? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I think we are. Are we recording, guys?
We're recording.
So.
We're live. We're live.
Too bad. We're recording. Mistakes.
Denver Broncos.
So to recap for Bricks Picks, we have Panthers
Plus 2.5.
Plus 2.5 against the Jets. We have the
Cleveland -6.
Cleveland
Hosting the
-6,
Jets,
and we have
then the over 45.
All right. Excellent.
Houston,
Excellent.
Denver.
Thank you, Brick.
And now, coming to you live via satellite from the Action Green Cathedral of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity, we have the Reverend Moses. Oh, Reverend.
Yes. This is the Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church Seahawk Positivity. How's everybody doing this evening?
Amazing.
You look great. I feel amazing. It's good to see everyone. What an exciting and loud start to the season, my friends. It was. I haven't heard that much booing since my church organist, Cleolanda, jumped up at the church bake-off last year and started a striptease during Chucky Jones's accordion playing a Rod Stewart song, Do You Think I'm Sexy? I was disgusted. I know little Mo tends to gyrate when he hears that song as well. So please, son, save it for the cam girls, okay? Friends, I'm so glad to be here once again, as we are once again here to celebrate glorious victory.
Yeah.
But we have many more battles to go as we head out on the basketball world. It is Seahawk Positivity as we look at the book of Seahawk Positivity, chapter 2, verses 7-12. And it says, as we did celebrate a hard-fought victory, there was no time to stop and smell those roses, for many battles were left to be fought. And as we traveled to the land of Rice-A-Roni, a land with trolley cars and golden gates, there they were met by those from the gold, who are the number 7 squared. They did rise up to defeat us, but the power of Seahawk Positivity did travel, and they were sent down and defeated, and there was much rejoicing within Seahawk Positivity. In fact, they rose up in the name of Seahawk Positivity and turned all of them into the ground. This is the word of Seahawk Positivity. Can you feel the power as it travels through your hands? Can you feel it? If you believe in the power of your defensive ability to make their offense more frustrated than a cat in a dog park, let's hear an amen nice and loud.
Amen.
Yes, and if you believe in the power to give our offense the ability to score more than John Mayer at a Grateful Dead concert, let's hear an amen nice and loud.
Amen.
Yes, that's what he says every night. That is the power, my brethren. We are loud and proud, my 12s. Yes, we are. The only thing good to come out of San Francisco, some excellent 60s music and some decent grass. You know what I'm talking about, Mark. A little Maui Wowie never hurt anybody, my friend. Am I right?
I spent 30 days getting over it, Dennis.
You know, a little Jamaican bobsled. We know what I'm talking about. Yes, the 49ers, they haven't been referenced. They haven't been relevant since Crabtree pushed Richard Sherman away from him in our stadium. Such mediocrity in that, man. It's just disgusting. But they haven't been relevant to anyone since they pushed Richard Sherman. And that's the only thing that guy did right in his career. But anyway, this has been your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church Seahawk Positivity. Go forth, my brethren, go forth and spread the good word of Seahawk Positivity. Praise Largent, praise Cortez, praise Walter Jones, praise Kenny Easley. And as always, go Hawks. We'll be back with the start of the fourth quarter, predictions, prognostications, and game balls. And that will be right after this, believe.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. It's the fourth quarter, bitches.
Yes, welcome to the fourth and final quarter of this special 49ers edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Before we make our predictions, I do want to share something. I had some friends from San Francisco 49er fans, and if you're going out to San Francisco, there's some things that you might want to see. They gave me a list. I don't know if these are real or not. Let's see. A statue of Jerry Rice made out of Rice-A-Roni. I don't know if that's actually there. I guess, Mark, you could tell us. Mark, is there a place called the Grateful Dead Happy to Be Here Cemetery? Is that there?
That could be in Colma. I'm not sure.
What about the Bill Walsh Memorial Bathhouse? Is that anything? No?
That was retired after McMillan and wife ended.
Okay, what about the Alden Smith Driving School? Is that a real thing, or are they just punking me here?
The entire class blacked out and it was canceled.
I think they punked me. All right. So anyway, we're going to move on to our predictions for this game between the Seahawks and the 49ers on Sunday, 4:05 Eastern Standard Time, 105 on the West Coast. And of course, we start with Team 12. And with Team 12, we have Team 12 member right here, and that is Little Mo. So Little Mo, if you would like to be so kind as to tell us what your score is, and then we'll talk about the rest of your team.
All right, I'm going to go with the score of 21-17 Seahawks.
Okay.
Obviously.
I like it.
We're going to go with Penny 2 rushing touchdowns. And I'm going to give him the game ball. Get that running game going.
Yes, your
he's
game
my
ball? All
Yes.
right, cool. All right.
Get the
well done.
running game going last game. So
Well done. Well done. Jose said 24-20 Seahawks. Prognostication Treek Woolen gets a pick. Game ball to Woolen. Mike Pascal, who got 8 points last week, said, okay, here we go. I don't even know who San Francisco's quarterback is. Jimmy's still there. Jeff Garcia, Jerry Garcia. It's Trey Lance. Doesn't matter. We have Gino. Seahawks 20, Winers 17, game ball to Penny. Prognostication, Seahawks score last points. All right. Mark Ty Turner, I love how Gino played in the first half, but I have a feeling, he has a feeling, there will be way more games like his second half. Niners win 23-13. Boo. Game ball to Taylor for constantly harassing the Niner backfield. Trey Lance will put San Francisco in the lead for good with the final points. Okay. Carrie, yep. 21-17 Seahawks. She must have been listening to you, Little Mo. Rashad Penny gets his first touchdown for Seattle. Lockett is my game ball. Jimmy said this is going to be a tough battle, but I really like our chances against the young and inexperienced quarterback. Game ball to DK. Hawks win with a close snot knocker. It's a snot knocker. 20-16. Pay with rushing TD. Side note, Hawks is a 10-point underdog. It's hilarious. By the way, our over-under is 41.5. Becky, 27-13 Seahawks, game ball to Lockett. Penny with 2 touchdowns. Now Team Posse. Chris Balding, well, what a way to start the season. The question is, can we carry it on? And I think it'll be another close one, but the Hawks will sneak away. Hawks win 24-22, game ball to Lockett. Prognostication, the Seahawks get a special team turnover and they recover a punt or a kickoff or something like that. Andy, 24-14 Seattle, game ball to Tyler. Prognostication, Tyler over 100 yards. Maddie, send his in, hot off the presses here. Maddie says Seahawks 24, Winers 23. Game ball to Disley. Prognostication, 2 touchdowns to tight ends for the Hawks. All right, Will, what you got for us?
Well, I think Jimmy and I have been hanging out a bit too much lately.
You have.
This makes 2 straight weeks that we came up with the exact same score.
You picking a snot knocker at 2016?
Yep, Seahawks 20, Niners 16.
All right.
My game ball goes, my Geno Smith Memorial game ball goes to Daryl Taylor, who I think needs to step up a little bit from last week, and I believe he will.
Yeah.
And my prognostication is that he will get 2 sacks, 2 or more sacks on the day.
2 or more sacks. Nice. Statsman Mark, what you got for us?
Well, we all know that the game is my well, I guess still my backyard.
Your backyard for now, yes.
The Niners, the monsoon aside, that team's got a lot of things going on. So unlike a week ago, I'm really going out on a limb now. I got Seattle 20, 49ers 19, another 1 point. Eke them out.
Not knocker.
I got my prognostication. Myers will kick us from 17 to 20 to beat the Niners. So it'll be kind of like a fourth quarter winning field goal. And I'll give my game ball to Jason Myers.
Well, will it be from 64 yards?
Oh, yeah, there you go. I know. Less than 60, hopefully.
Hopefully less than 60. Nice one, guys. Okay,
can't make a PAT.
Yeah, it's my turn now. What a game last week. We saw 2 quarterbacks. One looked calm, cool, collected, and in control. The other was Russell Wilson. Wilson looked more confused than Mitch McConnell at a Melissa Etheridge concert. Yeah, I'll just think that one. And loud. It was so loud. How
loud was it?
Thank you. It was so loud that the stadium received noise complaint calls from Idaho. That's how loud it was.
No, you. Sorry.
Unfortunately, we can't have every game at home on Monday night, but we can take this momentum and hit the road against the 49ers. The 49ers last week were slipping and sliding in Social Field, which looked more like a slip and slide than a football field. Those teams were wetter than Ellen DeGeneres at that same Melissa Etheridge concert. There's a theme here. Okay, but I move on. Yes, on the road without those 8-1 green uniforms. You know, my mother, true story. I talked to her on Tuesday and she said, listen, you need to do a favor. You know people out in Seattle. I said, yeah. She said, do me a favor. Have them grab those green uniforms and burn them. That's a true story. I know they appear hideous, but they're beautiful. You know what's beautiful about them? We're 8-1 in them. That's why they're so beautiful. So, you know, it's easier being green than Kermit the Frog would want to suggest. That lying little green piece of anyway, back to this week. The 49ers are led on offense by Trey Lance, who looks like Pat Mahomes' younger, less talented brother. Head coach Kyle Shanahan, who looks like he's about to solve another murder on CSI, will have his team crowd ready. Well, we'll have his team ready anyway, especially their kick return guy. Kick returner this year for the 49ers is named Ray Ray. I can't make this up. Ray McLeod. I love that name, Ray Ray. Sounds like a friend of reruns from the old show, What's Happening, doesn't it, Mark? Go with me on this one. Ray?
Yes.
Yeah, rerun and Ray dancing, doing the
rerun Barry.
Yeah, right. If you're older than 50, you will like that joke. The rest of you, look it up. Okay. The 49ers will have an early start and a soaked field. Won't have an early start or a soaked field to contend with this week. So they're looking to bounce back with their first win of the season, but not yet. Not this week, boys. Watch the Seahawks force not one, not two, but three turnovers. My prognostication. Watch my game ball Rashad Penny run over the Niners like a Steve Young scramble. Oh, San Francisco. You thought you found your answer at quarterback, but the curse of Alex Smith is still alive and well, my friends. Watch Niner Nation get nauseous as the Seahawks win by a score of Seahawks 27, Niners 21. Book it. All right. And with that, it's time to book another episode of your 12-Man Fan Jam show. We'd like to thank everyone for being here. We want to thank Dustin, Will, Statsman, Mark, Little Mo, Abby, April, Kona, Dustin, everybody. Everyone on our look, there's April. Look, there's April. Everyone who's on the Posse Prediction Challenge. And we want to thank everyone for joining us. We hope you learned a little something, maybe you laughed, maybe you learned, maybe you just wasted an hour before football. That's all right. It's all good. On behalf of everyone here, this is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Church of Seahawk Positivity saying until next week, as always, go Hawks.
Go
Hawks.
You'll burn anything. It's going to be that jersey you were wearing, Little Mo. That 49er jersey's going down.
Are you talking about this one?
Ah!